Good evening, everyone, to all our viewers on streamer.com.au and on the Baseball WA Facebook page. It is another night of Friday Night Lights here at Empire Ballpark. It's round 5 of the 2023-24 Harcher State League, and tonight it features two teams on the fringe of the 5, and they're both facing the Friday-Sunday double. The South Perth Souths and the Rockingham Rams, they come to town needing two big wins to really stake their claim for a final 5 position at the end of this 5th round. Hello everyone, my name is Paul Persk. It's a great pleasure to have your company on this very warm Friday night. It's going to be a humid one out here at the ballpark tonight between the South Perth Souths and the Rockingham Rams. South Perth Souths 3-3, the Rams 2 wins, 2 losses, and of course a tie. And the South Perth Souths are going to step up to the plate first at the top of the first here tonight. It's about 18 degrees, it's nice and warm. And no doubt it is going to be a great night of action. Cold strike taken by Jackson Limpus. He is at bat first for the South Perth Souths. Looking at that one as well, but that one just a little wide of the corner of the plate. And at the mound is Josh Eddy for the Rams. Eddy so far this season, pitching 14 innings. That one just going a little low. 2-1 the count. He's had 13 strikeouts this season. Total pitching of 212 and an ERA average of 3.375. While Limpus is averaging .400 at this point of the season. Another one just a little wide. 3-1 the count. Now from the mound, caught looking there by the referees behind home plate. We got a full count. Full count, Eddy. Can he draw the first strikeout and make it 14 for the season? Straight through the middle, but a little high, and that draws a walk. He goes to first base. On balls does Jackson Limpus. So Eddy from the mound. On first base is Nichols. On second base is Williams. Diggins is on shortstop. Wilson on third. And Artis is on centre field for the Rams. Crouch on left. And Sakara on the right. And speak of the devil, Guy Belair is joining me here in the commentary box for Friday Night Lights. We'll allow him to put on the headset. Good evening to you, Guy. Big game it is tonight. Two teams on the verge of the 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Two teams that are looking to make the playoffs. Rockingham having their best year that they've had in recent seasons, so obviously a little 2-2-1 record so far for the Rams, and South Perth just slightly behind them, 3-3 on the season. So South Perth has been a notorious team in the top 5.
We see a pickoff attempt here towards second from Limpus, and that's where he goes. A good successful attempt there by Limpus, player on second.
Base. We're going to get you your baseball terminology. Yeah, the pickoff comes from the pitcher throwing the runner back, but the runner advancing there for the stolen base. So,
well, I'm getting there, just barely. That one just a bit wide of the plate there, and it's a good time to talk about the South Perth South side here, because they've got about 3 or 4 players from the Perth Heat in the ABL that are playing for the Souths this season.
Yeah, a few of these teams have had teams in years past. I know big hit there by Bowie. That'll drive back to center, about 2 feet shy of the warning track. Catch is going to be made for the out, and Limpus will advance to third. So nice sacrifice fly there by Bowie. Get him over, get him in is the effort here in that first inning. As we said, a few of these teams, obviously I think the Rams have a little bit more stability that they've had in years past, and as I said, the Diggins brothers have seemed to come back into the fold of things after being away for a little bit. Jesse Sakara was a former South Perth one and played state league for Swans, has now become kind of a mainstay in the lineup down here at Rockingham. Now batting for South Perth should be the left fielder, Adam Barbarich. Barbarich, a former collegian. Been in the state league system for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. Actually, probably more than that, but pop that one foul on the right side there over the first base bleachers. South Perth starting to turn over a little bit of their lineup and going a little bit younger, obviously under the new management this year of Jason Hewitt. Hewitt, a longtime mainstay in ABL and Western Australian baseball standings. Now has his young son coming through the ranks as well. Joshua Eddy on the mound here for the Rams, starting things off with that runner on third, 90 feet away, trying to work out of the jam. Last couple haven't found the zone here. He'll miss down and away for another ball. What have we seen from Joshua Eddy so far this season, Paul?
Well, 13 strikeouts he's had so far this season. This will be the 65th batter that he's having to throw at. And Eddie's pretty good pitcher. He's got a couple of fastballs at his disposal, but he has drawn another walk to first base, this time to Barbaric, so he'll be a player on first and third. Eddie, he's been impressive this season. He's hasn't conceded many runs. He's only had 8 this season that he's conceded from 14 innings that he's pitched from the mound this season. So, so far so good, but tonight he's drawn a couple of walks towards first base.
All right, as we see Jesse Naretlis giving the signs there. Stepping into the batter's box for the South Perth Souths would be number 39, Simon Palmer. Runners first and third here. Top of the first. Rockingham, the home team, in the home white pants and black tops. South Perth in the road grays and blue tops. Palmer will watch second offering, find the outside of the zone for strike 2. One will be going, that one will be lined into left field, and that will be a catch there for Ashton Crouch. So that will end
2 outs.
Scoreboard was very quick to put the 2 on me before the out was actually made, so I was actually thinking that was the final out, but we still got 1 to go. But that ball will be hit deep enough to plate the runner on third, so South Perth will strike first for that first run, and stepping to the plate will be Cam Landy. Landy, been a state team product through the underage system for Western Australia. Had a chance last year a little bit with the kind of, forget what they're called, but the up-and-coming Perth Heat team, so the junior rankings from that one. He'll line that one into right field. That'll move the runner first to third. The throw coming in will be not in time. It's going to bounce off of him.
He'll score. Ooh.
And he's going to hold up. Eddie was quick to at least be on the side. Wasn't quite backing it up, but the ball managed to hit off the chain link fence. Not bound far enough away, but Landy able to take advantage of the miscue and advance a further 90 feet to second base. So the South Perth Souths will have runners first and second. And as said before, stepping in will be the manager's son, young Jai Hewitt, number 44.
I'll tell you what, Barbaric there, he looked like sprinting towards home plate, but just thought better of it.
Yeah, probably a wise move. It didn't drift too far away. And, of course, had it gone into the dugout, he would have had the free pass to the next base anyway, but thought better of it. Give the hitter a chance to strike him in instead of ending the inning. Eddie kicks, delivers. Little sidearm action. Jai puts it into play. It's going to be bobbled, but recovered in time for the out. So Jax Williams bobbles it, recovers nicely, and that will end the threat for the Cubs. They will strand 2 runners as they get the third and final out. But South Perth strikes first for 2 runs. We'll be back for Rockingham's half of the first after this quick break.
With a history of going the extra mile, Harcher has been a trusted wholesale distributor since 1986. Regional service and supply is what we do best, and you'll find everyone's favourite drinks, snacks, confectionery, and so much more, all here ready to deliver. Just tell us how we can help today.
Delivered together is our motto here at Harcher, because from our friendly customer service reps to our super reliable delivery drivers, we believe teamwork really does make the dream work. So if your dream is a wholesale supplier who'll always put you first, you've made the right call. See what we're all about at harcher.com.au.
Don't have any dirt training. You actually go.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love.
Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. We're heading into the bottom of the first inning. Sun just starting to set in the west here. We've had so many days of hot weather, and now we have the cold front sneaking back through here, making it for a chilly evening. This is what we know of early season baseball out here in Canning Vale, Thornley area. We're here, Friday Night Lights, Harcher State League. Harcher State League action. Rockingham Rams against South Perth Souths. On the mound for South Perth tonight is Jake Bowie. Mixing it up, known as maybe the first pitch he has will be hit over to Cam Landy. Landy will fire across to Simon Bomber for the first out. So one pitch, one out for Bowie. Can't ask for a better thing than that.
Now, you couldn't ask for a better start there for South Perth. Bowery on the mound, and then the first out they get almost immediately. They're off to a good start here, the Souths. They're a team with the 3 or 4 Perth Heat players that are there. They've got the depth to really make a statement, to really stake their claim for a spot in the 5.
And the biggest part, they'll need to get ahead. Bowie has that one across for a strike on the outside corner. They'll need to get ahead and work away early, because once those few guys do go over to the Heat, obviously they just don't have them for the majority part of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how they're able to handle themselves during that time. Of course, when you talk about that one, Heat players have things on Wanneroo, Morley and Braves, as well as then South Perth. So it'll be the predominant ones.
2-1 the count it is now. And we were talking about Jake Bowie. I reckon he'd be the one with the biggest responsibility. We were looking at his game last week against Perth in that 10-7 loss. I mean, Bowie, it was actually on the plate that he really was crucial. 5 at-bats, 3 hits, including a solo home run to centre field in the 9th inning. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for his side to overcome a 7-10 loss to Perth in that game last Sunday. But he can be such a vital player to the South Perth side. He played a great role in getting the Souths back into the game.
Yeah, obviously he's a big part of WA State Baseball League action, but he's been a big part of ABL action, and some are considering him maybe the top first baseman in the ABL. He got a chance with Team Australia last season, so we'll see what it does have in store for him. Of course, he's, as a junior, was a catcher and signed with the Astros organization. He's come back. Transferred a little bit to a pitcher, is a hard thrower, so still does have all of those qualities, and had a monster season in the ABL last year with the Perth Heat, getting a little bit of time there with Josh Reddick. Well, based on balls on that one, and stepping to the plate will be Vincent Tarantola. Tarantola will be the DH. We'll go over the lineups here for Rockingham, and obviously give you the defensive lineups for the Souths. One pitch to Tarantola. kicks, delivers, and that one's going to be fouled off into the back netting. So defensively for South Perth in right field is Daniel Atkinson, and center field is Jackson Limpus. Over in left field is Adam Barberich. Rounding out the infield from the left side to the right, third base Jai Hewitt, shortstop Cam Landy, second base Caleb Goodwin, at first Simon Balmer. Behind the plate is Oliver McMahon. On the mound this evening, as we said, it is Jake Bowie. The 0-2 pitch from Bowie. We'll see the runner lead off. He's going to step off and look him back. Daryl Artis getting a awfully big lead over there.
Notice Bowie there. He's trying to keep Artis on us. Trying to get the pick off attempt, but Artis is advancing now.
Artis will run on that one, and the throw from Ollie McMahon is going to hit the runner. It's going to bound out into left field away from the two middle infielders. Either Goodwin or Landy can make a play on that one, so Artis quickly onto his feet and advancing a further 90 feet on the error. So able to swipe second and advance to third on the errant throw from McMahon. So Rockingham 90 feet away from tying the game. Let's see if Bowie's able to get out of the inning. Big swing and a miss. Bowie gets the strikeout. So that'll be 2 outs now. So Rockingham will have runner on third with 2 outs, and coming to the plate will be the right fielder, Jesse Sequeira. So offensively for the Rams, obviously we saw Josh Diggins lead off, Daryl Artis batting second, Vincent Tarantola batting third, Jesse Sequeira now batting in the 4-hole. On deck, Dave Nichols, followed by Jesse Noretlis, then Jax Williams, Hayden Crouch, and Corbin Wilson rounding out the batting order for the Rams. First pitch from Bowie is a ball.
Sequeira now batting on the plate now, as you see Artis trying to advance to home plate. He's going to line that one up out towards right field, and Artis is going to score. Artis is going to score and tie it up for the Rams. Still down on their last out. A perfect answer to Rockingham as Sequeira, after lining that one up to right field, he advances to first.
Rockingham able to take advantage of an opportunity here, and I think that'll be the big thing. Years previous, they've had opportunities and they've let them go, but Sequeira comes through there in a clutch situation. Game tied 1-1. Big knock there against Jake Bowie. Now batting for the Rams, Dave Nichols. Nichols playing first base this evening.
Very, very close to the body there from Bowie. Nichols rather went for another big swing on that one. This time he lines it up.
Goodwin able to make the play. He'll fire over
Good play.
First, and that will end the threat for the Rams in the first. But after one complete, Rockingham 1, South Perth 1. We'll be back for the second inning after this quick break.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Good evening. We're through the first inning here at Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights Harcher State League action. Rockingham Rams against the South Perth Souths. Matchup of 6 versus 7 so far. Both teams on the cusp of playoff contention. Big part will be Rockingham trying to have an early season. Typically been bottom of the ladder, so they find themselves middle of the ladder, so in kind of uncharted territory, but kind of a nice surprise here. To me, it's always a refreshing sight when we can turn over some of these different teams that we're not faced with the same. Obviously, I think the top 3 are pretty well set in terms amongst the Braves, Morley, and Monterey Giants, but Vic Park is off to a hot start this season. We're ready for that second inning of work.
And he talked about, those teams, not being on the cusp of success for quite a long time. That really is good for the competition, when you see so many teams that are in contention for that playoff spot, in contention for the 5. That really brings a new life into the competition.
Ollie McMahon batting against Josh Eddy here, top of the second inning. Do have a lot of baseball to go, but it is nice to see some of these different teams, and of course, the better starts you can get into what you can do for the season. We got to see Perth ride a very hot start last year into the top, into that top 5. They were one of the top 2 teams all season before fading down the stretch, and then obviously their import got hurt, and another one went home, and weren't able to make as much noise as they would have liked last year. But so they're staying within striking distance, just behind both of these teams right now. WA unfortunately had player manager go down injured in the first week of the season, so season not off to as good a start as they would have liked, but both UWA and Korean do have 1 win on the season, so we don't have any winless teams through the 5 weeks here so far. Ollie McMahon facing the 2-2 count here from Josh Eddy. That ball will be popped up on the infield. I think that will be Josh Diggins that will camp under it and ultimately make the play for the first out to retire McMahon. Stepping to the plate now for South Perth will be Caleb Goodwin. Goodwin went over to the States for a little bit of college ball, but how has he been on the season thus far?
I'll tell you what, Goodwin has only had the 4 games played, 12 PAs, and he had 11 at bat as well. He's had a bit of a tough start of the season, only an average of .091 in the competition. He's been struck out 4 times this season, so he wants to get a couple of good hits on the board this evening, and considering that not only the South Perth Souths but also the Rams have got a double this weekend, not only tonight, but they've got very important games on Sunday.
Ultimately, all of these games end up being important games, but when you get these ones on the Friday night, definitely trying to get that victory across and start your weekend off well. Good win. Will turn just out of the way of that high and tight pitch.
He did well to just duck out of the way there to avoid being hit.
But he'll watch that one on part of the plate. Cross for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count here to Goodwin. Goodwin is a very hot and cold player. As we talk about it right now. Swing, and we'll chop that one foul. Struggling at the plate with that 0.96 average. That'll be one of the things that if the Cubs can get him hot.
You talked about Goodwin, his hot and cold form. Of course, they struck out twice in that 10-7 loss to Perth on Sunday on his 4-out bat. He only had the 1 run and 1 hit as well in his 4-out bat as well, as he pops that one high.
One will be popped up just off of the infield, and Jackson Williams will camp under it, make the play for the second out. So the first 2 batters retired here for South Perth. As I said, South Perth having a little bit of a turnover in their roster. A couple of mainstays that had been there for years not playing, Max Wheeler being particularly the one that no longer patrolling the outfield, and so lose a little bit of a bat, lose a lot of speed from that standpoint, but hopefully some of these younger kids, as I said, Limpus moves over from right field into center. Now batting for South Perth is number 11, David Atkinson. So they'll be looking to have some of their youth step up. Joe Ranford should be back over from the States. He was a former Willetton kid growing up that was a pitcher and an outfielder, so we'll see what he's able to bring to the team this year. And then I think other bench players they have, Will Sheriff is obviously a Heat guy. He's also named to this Australian team that should be leaving shortly if he hasn't gone already to take part in a competition up in Japan, I believe. So of course Morley will be out a few players because I think Alex Hall was named on that one. There were a couple of WA guys named, and I think the stipulations around that, I think you had to be under 20, under 24, under 23, I don't recall. That one will be chopped into play. Joshua Diggins fields on the high hop, fires over to first, and the South Perth will go 3 up, 3 down in a quick top of the second. We'll be back after this break, all knotted at 1.
Good Sports provides a great deal of assistance to all associations.
We're extremely lucky that we've got an organisation like Good Sports that provide us with the education to implement the right policies.
The guidelines and resources that are available to us free of charge on the website are fantastic. Easy to navigate, amazing to use, an excellent source of information for our members and our volunteers.
Good Sports has been great because they've been able to provide us a guideline to follow, and it's been a lot easier rather than setting something up from scratch. We've also been able to promote our club and get new members in and sponsors, and to know that we're doing the best we can for the community.
The legal requirements to operate a sporting association are many and varied. Good Sports provides simple, straightforward procedures to ensure that we comply with those obligations.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. Bottom of the second inning, Rams will take to the plate here. Jake Bowie on the mound. My name is Guy Belair here with Paul Persig as we are under Friday Night Lights for Western Australia State League Baseball action, brought to you by Harcher. Of course, standing so far through the season, Wanneroo on top of the ladder, Vic Park Belmont in second place, followed closely by the Braves Baseball Club and Morley Eagles. Swan Districts will round out the teams in the top 5 right now. Rockingham looking to enter into that playoff contention. South Perth just behind them, followed by Perth Baseball Club, Gosnells, UWA Magpies, and Kareen. Of course, this season, Wembley moving over to UWA campus and taking the name in order to receive some of the benefits of being over there as well. They come out with a new kit, so wearing the green and gold. So
that is a pretty good kit.
We get rid of another black and red team. We're starting to have a few too many of those between Rockingham, Langley, and Vic Park at the time. And so we'll have that. We have a little bit of a discussion going on. Not sure what that one's about. Jason Hewitt also going to come out and inquire what's going on.
Well, it was after that first strike. Bowery on the Retless.
Not sure if, and this is what I think I saw before. The question that I had for you where I paused last inning is Dave Nichols should have been batting, and I swore Neretless went up to bat that last inning, and that's why I hesitated. So I think they did bat out of order.
Very interesting.
So I think you have to wait for that first pitch to be had in terms of that batting out of order. So where we saw Neretless ground out last inning, he's already down a strike, and we'll see him come to the plate. So I thought I did see that. I hesitated. I asked you that question because I was having a hard time looking at the numbers from up high, and I am correct in that assessment. So might have even could have questioned. The run did score prior to that one, but they were still threatening at that time, but out of it. So
he's gone.
Neretless will only get to face 2 pitches, and he will strike out. So in 2 at-bats, technically he's 0 for 2, but he's only credited with the first one, which is that strikeout.
Now what's going to be important here for Rockingham here, can they back up the efforts where they force South Perth to go 3 up, 3 down here? They've got the drive in the middle of their lineup, and that's what resulted in their win on Sunday over Goswells. Another close one where they got a late winner. Can they back it up? That remains to be seen.
Obviously important to, just like we talk about stringing hits together, definitely want to string those W's together. So we're chasing 2 in a row here, but a little bit of a daunting task facing one of the better pitchers, at least one of the harder throwing pitchers, in Jake Bowie. End up having to go up against one of those heat guys. Need to take make the most of any opportunities that present themselves, so they're able to scratch that first run across. I definitely think they're going to be carried by that top of the order, the Diggins, Artis, Tarantola, and Sakira. But when they can get the production from the bottom half of the order, I think that's going to be the pluses for the Rams. We'll have to see if that's able to be a mainstay. That ball will be put into shallow center field, but Caleb Goodwin drifts back and makes the catch in front of Jackson Limpus for the second out. So the other part of it that we talk about, Paul, is a big part of where does momentum sit. All right, so South Perth went that quick 3 up, 3 down. You'd like to have the Rams not do the same in order to get behind Josh Eddy, but all of a sudden quickly 2 outs here, and all of a sudden where does momentum shift back to South Perth?
But I have to say, if they're able to get this 3 up, 3 down, it certainly does to an extent, but it's still a very even game at the present time. Still early, we're at the bottom of the second, 1-1 the score. Rockingham were able to tie it in response, so it's all about stringing those hits together in the context of this game. Rockingham at the moment, they're sort of struggling with that at the bottom of the second, so that's another strike. Bowie, he has been on a roll. In fact, coming into this game, 23 strikeouts this season, the most of any of the South Perth pitchers this season.
Big swing and a miss there, and that'll do it for the Rams in the third. So 3 up, 3 down. Bowie strikes out 2. We'll be back for the third inning after this quick break.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Good evening. Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights Harcher State League action. Western Michigan State baseball. The hues of the sky just starting to disappear. The pinks, the blues. I think the Perth Heat had a jersey that was based off of the color scheme we're just seeing on the horizon right now. South Perth, Rockingham all walked at one apiece. Jackson Limpus in the batter's box. Welcome to those of you watching from around the Perth metro area as well as from the Netherlands.
I love that overseas support. Shout out to all those over in the Netherlands. They're mad on their sport in the Netherlands. Baseball, and of course with the Cricket World Cup in full swing.
Josh Eddy on the mound facing Jackson Limpus. Limpus, of course, another one of those members that was on the under-18 Australian team. So he faces a strike. We'll see how he goes potentially as one of the members on the cusp of the Heat roster. So he, Bowie, and Sheriff. That ball's going to be lined into shallow left center for a base hit. Limpus will round first. Watch the throw come back in.
He was going to take on the throw there, looking to go to second base, but thought better of that one and just played the safe option to go up first. But he's a good hitter, is Limpus. That was a good lineup towards left field.
A few of these kids are former Wilton kids that I had the pleasure of coaching years ago prior to some of their youth competitions. So Jackson moved over to South Perth and has been doing a fantastic job both for WA baseball, the underage groupings, as well as for South Perth. And now under the tutelage of Jason Hewitt, of course, a longtime player for the Perth Heat and the ABL in his first year managing his club. At the plate for South Perth right now,
Bowie.
Jake Bowie.
0 for 1 so far in this game.
This is a moment for Bowie to kind of break things open. Really set the tone for the game. Big swing there. It'll be popped up, and that will get well foul in a hurry. Probably out of the ballpark over just off the Gosnells clubhouse there, but under their State League field. Of course, the Gosnells Baseball Club just behind the ballpark here. 1-2 pitch. Limpus takes off. No throw. No throw from Noretless as he will concede the stolen base. The defensive indifference possibly. We'll see how that one's ruled. But
there's been a couple of those in South Perth's favour tonight. They've been able to steal a couple of bases with great ease.
Limpus got a massive jump on that one. Big hit there from Bowie. He's going to be chopped off. That will be fielded off the one. It was a little bit more of an old Baltimore chop. Hit straight down into that hard play at the front. They caught there. Williams able to field it. Fire over to first for the first out, but it will get Limpus over to third. Perth 90 feet from retaking the lead in this ball game, and now opening left fielder Adam Barberich. As mentioned before, Barberich, former collegiate baseball player in the States. From here, South Perth has been his home club. He's managed to work his way up to the bottom parts of the lineup to now in the heart of the order, being a three-hole hitter. missing 2 pitch. Ball will be put into play by Sakura. He will make that catch shallow right field, quickly fire home, keeping Olympus at third, but the Rams get the second out, manage to keep the runner at third, so holding on. Keeping it a tight ball game here. Now stepping to the plate will be Simon Bomber. Watch the freshman cross for a ball.
Olympus in third would want to get to home and take back this lead for South Perth. Cookbound would get a ground ball through centre field and allow Olympus that opportunity to run towards home. That would be the most ideal for Borma. It's easier said than done. Because I tell you what, Eddie, he's pitching brilliantly in the last couple of innings, although it's a 3-0 count. Having said that, he's done well for the most part of this game so far. He's just got to get it a little bit tighter. Those fast balls are a little bit all over the place. And Borma, he's walking to first.
Runners will be first and third. Rams will take a short break. Go have a meeting of the minds on the mound. Eddie getting spoken to there by Tarantola. Tarantola taking over Rams this season.
57-31 on the pitcher strikes, just to point out as well, Eddie, 57. He's only had the 31 strikes in comparison to Bowery, 25-17.
South Perth making him work, facing a lot of pitches, getting at bats, getting runners on as well. Cam Landy will put that one, chop it into the hole, past Josh Diggins. So that will plate a run for South Perth. They'll retake the lead 2-1. Still have a runner in scoring position on second. Runners first and second stepping to the plate would be 44, Jai Hewitt.
Momentum's now back with South Perth. They were able to get the run to break the deadlock through Landy's hit out past shortstop, and Olympus was able to advance to home with ease.
Hewitt will watch the first offering over for a strike. Jai starting to be built like his dad. We'll see if he can have the same bat that his dad had for years. The Perth Heat. Nice sweet hitter with a strong swing. Not quite like the kid Griffey Jr., but well known out here.
That one's well out of there.
Hewitt, of course, good friends with Greg Jelks, and kind of the primary person for the Greg Jelks Foundation. Quite a few of the... Hewitt will line that one up the middle into center field. Looks like Bomber took the turn around third, but was held up. And bases will be full of South Perth Souths. Nice hit there from Jai Hewitt.
And that's what you pointed out a little earlier. You're netting those base hits, which are so crucial in this game, given how tight it has been. But South Perth have just been able to get those base hits, and they're in a good position to get the runs flowing. Now the next at bat, Oliver McMahon, playing in the catching position for the Souths. They've still got 2 outs. The important thing for the Souths, they've got bases loaded. letting that one go from Eddie. Just wide of the left-hand side of the plate there from Eddie, so it'll be a 1-0 count. McMahon facing the 1-0 pitch now, 2 outs. South Perth leading 2-1. He's letting that one be looked at. Gold strike from McMahon, 1-1 the count. Momentum back to South Perth now, having taken back this lead 2-1 at the top of the third. That one is going to be popped high. It's going to be over the foul line, and it's going to be over the fence. So that'll be in foul territory with the count now 2-1. Hewitt on first, Landy second, Bormer on third. Ready now. Can he get this vital strike to stop this wave of South Perth momentum? Right down the middle. A little wide of the left corner. It's 2-2 the count. Good ground ball out towards third base. It's through the infield. South Perth could score twice here. Bormer scores and Landy does as well. So 2 more going to the Souths. And off a fumble at home base, players advance to second and third. And South Perth now extend their lead 4-1 at the top of the third. They have scored 3 runs at the top of the third. The Rams in some trouble. Still on 2 outs. South Perth give their players a couple of high fives off camera. High fives for Bormer and Landy advancing to home. That's going to be Caleb Goodwin. Stepping up to the plate, has a good look at that one. Let it go for a ball. 68-38. Pitches to strikes for Eddie. Rockingham. A bit wide and high there. The plate. 2-0 the count. Just the body there. Goodwin. Ball. Steve Elliott joins me. South Perth. All the momentum's with them now. They have that 4-1 lead. They'd extended it by adding 2 to the board at the top of the third. And Rockingham making a few unforced errors.
This is one of the big things that I talked about. I think South Perth has a little bit of that veteran momentum, a little bit of that veteran leadership. I thought Bowie might be the one to break the game open, but the lineup behind him has done that one. Goodwin will watch that one cross for a strike, so that'll load things up. Count will be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Eddie comes set. Fastball will be put into play. It'll be popped up into center field.
Nice easy catch.
Catch will be made, and that will end the South Perth threat in the third. But they strike for 3 runs. After 2.5, South Perth 4, Rockingham 1. We'll be back after this quick break.
We don't have any dirt trains. We actually go.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
With a history of going the extra mile, Harcher has been a trusted wholesale distributor since 1986. Regional service and supply is what we do best, and you'll find everyone's favourite drinks, snacks, confectionery, and so much more, all here ready to deliver. Just tell us how we can help today.
Delivered together is our motto here at Harcher, because from our friendly customer service reps to our super reliable delivery drivers, we believe teamwork really does make the dream work. So if your dream is a wholesale supplier who'll always put you first, you've made the right call. See what we're all about at harcher.com.au.
Welcome back, Friday Night Lights. You were just we were just posing a question during the break about this South Perth side. The turnover of Heat players is going to make it so crucial for Souths to continue to perform even without them. So a good start here for this season is so important. 3-3, not ideal from their point of view, but it's still they've got 3 good wins on the board. They could get a 4th. They just got to keep that up before the end of November.
Yeah, I think the big part for South Perth will be being able to string a lot of momentum together, being able to string the wins together while they have the Heat players on their side, because once you lose a lot of that leadership and veteran, both veteran leadership and playing leadership, we'll see how they go under Jason and during that stretch. At bat for Rockingham, leading off the bottom of the third for them is going to be number 14, Corbin Wilson. So this is the 9-hole hitter. So important for South, especially taking the lead right there with those 3 runs, get another quick inning. Don't let Rockingham get any momentum. We've seen it kind of shift during that second as both teams were able to get quick innings, 3 ups, 3 downs. Bowie, of course, now working in his 3rd inning, quickly 0-2 ahead of Wilson. Now, Paul, we'll see how much baseball research you have done. Do you have a favorite for the World Series?
I'll tell you what, it's harder to pick than a broken nose, I'll say that much. That's all I can say. It's going to be a great World Series, make no mistake about it.
Of course, if you're a baseball fan, World Series will kick off at... Wilson will go down on strikes. So, Bowie with his 2nd in a row. 3rd here in the last 2 innings. And we'll turn things back over to the top of the lineup to shortstop Josh Diggins. World Series will kick off at about 7:04, it might be 8:04 Australian Western Standard Time in the morning in Globe Life Ballpark in Arlington. So, of course, we got to see, last time the World Series was at Globe Life, it was hosted there during COVID. Of course, it was an empty stadium for teams to play in front of, so it'll be rocking in the morning, as the Rangers haven't been in a World Series since 2011. They were favorites to win that one against the Cardinals and had it ripped away from them in an untimely manner. Hopefully they'll make a little bit more of a difference. I think from my perspective, Tim Kennelly was originally within the Rangers organization, so he might be one that has a little bit of pull towards them. I'm from Texas, and of course, so I was always going to have half of an entrant in the World Series, but I'd like to see Texas win it because they haven't won one in their history yet. So it's another one of those ones that can be knocked off. Of course, the Diamondbacks famously won in 2001. They knocked off the 2-time or 3-time defending New York Yankees.
He was a 2-time champions back then.
Really ended the reign of that Yankee dynasty at that time. And of course, they were buoyed by the likes of Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling. Diggins will pop that one foul. 2-2 the count here. Facing the ball. And so it should be set to be a great World Series between Arlington, Texas Rangers, and out in Phoenix in the desert, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
What I can say, I'll give you this, it will go the distance. It will go all the way to 7 games. And I reckon the Rangers can finally break the duck. They'll pull off their first.
All right, so that's 2 of us that you at least think the Rangers. I think the Rangers. I know the one kind of caveat for the D-backs is that they were kind of counting all those doubters against them and wanting to prove people wrong. A lot of naysayers.
It's going to be Walken, base on balls there. Will be Diggins, so they already have 1 there on that first base. They've got to keep netting those base hits, Rockingham, because they find themselves with their backs against the wall.
Of course, One of the players listed on the bench in this game was a part of the Diamondbacks organization, Will Sheriff. So at least there's some ties to both teams. As I said, Kennelly within the Rangers organization, Sheriff within the Diamondbacks organization. So ties to both teams within the World Series here from WA. So it's part of what makes it a small world sometimes. Big swing there from Daryl Artis.
Now, it is going to be a great World Series, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. I reckon it'll go to 7 games, but...
I think that's the one kind of wish, is we always hope they go 7. Not sure they always get it, but of course the one thing we'll see, the Rangers during the ALCS didn't win a home game. All games in the ALCS were won by the road team.
That's right.
The Diamondbacks were following suit, but they finally broke through. They lost their last game in Arizona and then became the first team to win in Philadelphia. All 6 games up to that point. The Phillies had won handedly. So we'll see what happens. Tune in to all of that action live when you wake up in the morning tomorrow. In the meantime, the sun is finally set, truly under Friday night lights here at Empire Ballpark. His fastball crossed for a strike. Curtis didn't seem to like that one. Finds himself in an 0-2 hole with a runner on first. Left-hander in the box, waiting. The pitch from Bowie. Bowie taking his time, is looking at the signs from Ollie McMahon. Comes, sets, looks the runner over, kicks, delivers. He'll miss up and away for a ball.
He's also looking at Diggins as well, because he had a bit of a lead on Bowie, and Bowie is looking to his left there, looking for that pick-off attempt, but Diggins being kept honest there by Bowie at first.
Diggins does have a lot of speed. Of course, there's some doubt on which Diggins' brother might be the best. Josh playing for Rockingham, Chase Diggins is part of the Willetton Baseball Club as well. I believe Chase was a part of that first team, Australian team that went to the Little League World Series, along with Maverick Hamilton, Jake Sheldon, quite a few other guys. Diggins will scramble over to second on that passed ball that got past McMahon. As we see Diggins peering into the signs there being given. Bowie looking back, the pitch, breaking ball in tight for a ball. Just off the plate there.
Full count it is now. Bowie up to 41 pitches now.
Bowie having to work hard this inning. And these are those moments, again, you're not going to get everything in one swing, you're not going to get everything back, but you get that runner on against Jake. And as I said, this is that, these 4 hitters are the crucial hitters for Rockingham. They have to get the output from here, and then you hope you get some output from the bottom half of the line. That ball's going to be in the dirt. It'll be a ball, so both runners will advance to first after the leadoff out from Williams. Runners first and second. Now stepping to the plate will be Tarantola.
Well, yeah, you talked about, of course, the World Series kicking off tomorrow, Texas and Arizona. Great game that's going to be. Of course, we've got the World Cup as well in full swing. We had a brief chat about that last week. And all the best to the Aussies. Tomorrow they play their neighbours from across the ditch, New Zealand. And that is going to be a biggie, make no mistake about it, after Australia got their 3rd win in a row a couple of days ago against the Netherlands. And hopefully the Aussies can keep on that form and beat the top 2 Kiwi side and keep their spot in the 4.
Absolutely. And of course, Perth is buzzing with action as the Matildas are in town. They won their first game last night 2-0. They'll play again on Sunday.
And that's over at Optus Stadium. Expect a sellout crowd. 60,000 people sold out. No tickets are left. And that should be a sensational game. It's Tarantola now, the left-hander. Bowery again just glancing at Diggins at second base. It, throws that one a little wide of the plate there. 1-0 the count.
Of course, if you're around, make sure you get down to the ballpark. Harcher State League action on Friday nights. That ball's going to be popped up on the infield. It should stay fair. Jai Hewitt will camp under it and call off Landy. Not often that you see the third baseman call off the shortstop. You should priorities, but sometimes being a big boy, he's gone that far, he's not getting out of the way. So
he took his chance, and he took it well. That was a good catch.
Landy wisely ran over to cover third base so the runner couldn't advance. So Rockingham gets their second out. Runner's not able to advance. Now stepping to the plate will be Jesse Sekira. Sekira, of course, in his first at-bat, was able to break the scoring drought, singled into right field and plated the run for the Rams. Big swing and a miss. He'll look to do the same if he's able to. Those runners on the right side should be off to the races, so we should get one, possibly two, depending on how quickly Artis is able to get around it if the ball's put in play.
I just want to compliment Hewitt and Landy. They really took the initiative when that ball was popped high, almost into foul territory. Hewitt there was able to get underneath it and make an easy catch, and Landy did so well in making sure that third base was covered to not allow Diggins that opportunity to even advance to third, or even if possible, if the ball was fumbled, even make his way out to home. So that was great teamwork there by the South. That's one of the reasons why they're in a superior position at the moment.
Kira waiting the pitch from Bowie. Bowie's fastball will be up and away. Shaking his head a little bit, getting frustrated this inning as he's thrown more pitches in this inning than he had in the game. I think he's doubled his pitch count just about now, and showing a little bit of frustration as things aren't going where he would like them to. Sometimes you have those innings, sometimes you have those nights where pitches just don't seem to do what they want. That fastball is going to stay high again. So having trouble finding the zone here against these Rockingham hitters, and top of the order here for Rockingham, not chasing pitches.
How much drive and productivity can this lineup get? You know, we talked about Sekira able to get that deadlock back in Rockingham's way with that equaliser in the first innings. But it's just going to be all about how they can back up that productivity, not just from the top of the lineup, but also from the middle and at the bottom of the lineup as well. And they haven't been able to get it, but this is their best position now to not only get some more base hits, but to get some more runs on the board and just trim that 3-run margin down. Oh, swing and a miss. Sekira's gone, and that brings an end to the bottom of the third. It is still 4-1 in South Perth's favour. They're in control of this game, and now they'll make their way to the plate to see if they can extend this lead after the break.
I don't have any dirt training. You actually go.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
Top of the fourth now. South Perth still hold that handy 4-1 lead over Rockingham. Paul Persick alongside Iggy Belair, and this is going to be an important time for Rockingham. From their point of view, if they get a 3 up and 3 down on the Souths here and back it up at the plate and get a couple of runs on the board, they'll get back into this game. But against this South Perth side, Guy, tonight, it has not been easy.
No, and it'll be an interesting thing for the Rams. You'll need to keep things close within striking distance. And as I said before, they need to take the most of the opportunities that are presented to them. Had an opportunity with those runners first and second, couldn't capitalize on it. They need to keep South Perth, don't let them expand the lead beyond this 3 runs so they can stay within the game. Leading off for South Perth this inning is the 9-hole hitter Daniel Atkinson.
And it looks like as well we've got a pitching change here, Guy. Cahill.
Yeah, so Josh Eddy threw a lot of pitches. Obviously, I think, as you said earlier, they have the double header, which means he's going to have to throw the second game. So didn't want to overwork him too much tonight. And that's another one of those things that, depending on what you have, depending on the depth of what you have, really starts to test you. And that's why the lead needs to kind of stay right here and not let the game get blown out of hand. Atkinson waits the 1-2 pitch. #15 is Lachlan Cahill. Do we have any stats from Cahill on the season? We'll try to look him up because I haven't known him much. So he's one of the young arms coming up through the Rockingham system. Hard throwing right-hander.
Well, he's only played the 1 game prior to tonight, so yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Cahill this season. Only that 1 game. He struck out 2, had 46 pitches in his only game for the season. So it is good to see him back out here for a second go at it. And the rotation of the pitches for Rockingham will be quite a key, as you said, with that double that they've got another game on Sunday. So Cahill playing in only his 2nd game for this season.
Nice little off-speed pitch. That's going to be fouled into the glove and bounce out of it. Atkinson staying alive there. Retless couldn't squeeze the foul ball. So didn't get the out. Atkinson able to stay alive. 2-2 pitch. Up and in. Load up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, South Perth. That ball's going to be popped into center field. Artis ran hard, laid out for it, but didn't make the catch. Fortunately for him, the ball didn't bounce too far away, so Atkinson only gets a single out of it. Artis not able to make the play to get the out. We know the big part of the lineup for the Cubs is where they struck. They struck for 3 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. That's where they got the leadoff run. And now we're turning it back over to those gun hitters for South Perth. Jackson Limpus at the plate here. So Rockingham needing to find a big play. Limpus will swing, knock that one foul. First base dugout.
This will be their 3rd run at least through their lineup tonight. Rockingham have barely run through their lineup twice in this game.
Yep, but with that one. Both teams have had opportunities. Sometimes teams are playing defensively well. You can go 3 innings and not even get through the lineup, as we saw that happen to Vic Park a little bit last week. In this case, we've seen people, that ball's going to be off of Limpus, so he'll deposit the Evo Shield gear towards the dugout and trot on down to first with the hit by pitch. So runners first and second. And this is the moment that you really have to be careful throwing to Jake Bowie, because what I've seen from Cahill so far, he did have one decent off-speed pitch, but he's been a fastball pitcher predominantly, and Jake Bowie eats fastballs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a hold of one. He went for it, but he hits it a mile into the sky. That's going to be a infield fly, but it is camped under by Dave Nichols. That will be the first out. So Bowie went for the big swing, but just missed it, getting under it. That was that opportunity that if Bowie gets a hold of one, I thought that could break that game open. Instead, we'll see if Barberich is able to put it in play and continue the station-to-station baseball that we've seen from South Perth so far.
We talk about Bowie. That's a big hit.
That one's going to be popped into left field. Be camped under by Crouch. Crouch will make the play. Runners will stay put. So neither Bowie or Barberich able to advance the runners after getting the first 2 on. So had 2 on, no out. Now we have 2 on, 2 out. Stepping to the plate, that first baseman.
Just on that Bowery one there, he, like you said, he eats those fast balls for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But he was just to see that one just dip low and wide of the plate there. I reckon that one might have been the wrong pitch to swing at, because that one was going slightly wide of the plate. But they have a chance here, South Perth, with advancements.
That pass ball gets away from Naretless, so Cahill, wild pitch. Move the runners up 90 feet. Bomber at the plate for South Perth. Rockingham. That line drive out to center field, but that one's going to be caught by Artis. He's not going to miss that ball. He'll range to his left, and that'll be the third out. So South Perth strands 2. Rockingham does what they need to keep the game within striking distance. Through 3.5, South Perth 4, Rockingham 1. We'll be back after this quick break.
Good Sports provides a great deal of assistance to all associations.
We're extremely lucky that we've got an organisation like Good Sports that provide us with the education to implement the right policies.
The guidelines and resources that are available to us free of charge on the website are fantastic, easy to navigate, amazing to use, an excellent source of information for our members and our volunteers.
Good Sports has been great because they've been able to provide us a guideline to follow, and it's been a lot easier rather than setting something up from scratch. We've also been able to promote our club and get new members in and sponsors, and to know that we're doing the best we can for the community.
The legal requirements to operate a sporting association are many and varied. Good Sports provides simple, straightforward procedures to ensure that we comply with those obligations.
Welcome back. We're ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Bowie on the mound, kicking things off here against Dave Nichols, Rockingham Rams. That first one down in the dirt for a ball. My name is Keith Belair, joined by Paul Persick this evening. Friday Night Lights brought to you by Harcher. State League action here from Western Australia. Nichols will swing and miss at that offering for Valley. So 1-1 the count now. If you're just joining us, South Perth struck for a run in the top of the first. Olympus came across to score that first run. Rockingham able to match it. An RBI single from Jesse Sakira. And South Perth able to break the game open a little bit, getting 3 runs in the top of the third. Rockingham not able to respond, but South Perth had 2 on with nobody out. Rockingham was able to get 3 in a row to get out of that jam situation, keep the game within striking distance. See if they can get their bats lively here at the bottom of the fourth to kind of creep their way back into this game.
Well, that's what they need to do. They've got to get that drive and productivity for all of their batting lineup. It can't just be from the top, from the middle, or from the bottom of the order. They've got to get consistent drive, Rockingham, because this game is slowly slipping away.
Trying to find any momentum that they can. Of course, they had runners first and second about half of the last inning, but couldn't capitalize. Currently sitting 6th on the ladder, game ahead of South Perth. Eddie came out, threw well, but is the pitcher on record. Nichols is going to do a half swing, and he will be struck out. Now he adds to his strikeout total on the evening. How many is that for Jake tonight?
Well, that's now 6, and he goes up to 29 for the season. Impressive in only just 5 rounds this season.
So Jake's always been a power pitcher from that standpoint, but looking at 6 a night right now into his 4th inning. So getting at least 1 inning, and a couple of those getting 2. Chance to add to it here as he now faces Jesse Moretless. Of course, Rams had a little bit of a miscue in that first inning. Nichols missed his plate appearance. It was Jesse Moretless who grounded out to end the Rockingham threat first, and then quickly came up to a pitch, and it was noted that they were batting out of order, so Moretless had to come up and bat again with a strike down. And he's facing his 4th at bat on the evening, while the rest of his teammates are still working on their 2nd or 3rd. Now he started the game off strong, working quickly, but last inning and this inning struggled a little bit to find the zone. A little bit frustrated. Time was called just before he went into the motion there, so here a pitcher will reset. Jake kicks, delivers down in the dirt. Dennis did offer at that one, so McMahon puts the tag on him, and that will be the 2nd strikeout of the inning, 7th of the game.
And 30 for the season. Impressive start for Bowery this season.
Now stepping to the plate will be number 6, second baseman, Jax Williams. Williams will offer at the first pitch, pop it foul, but just out of the reach of Simon Bomber, running track in front of the first base dugout.
Well, if this will be a 3 up and 3 down, Rockingham Rams could ill afford one at this stage of the game, because they're, at the moment, to be frank, not getting any productivity from this section of the lineup when you're looking at how this game's panned out in South Perth's favour.
Pitch there by Jake up and in for a ball. And for these young teams, that's a lot of the ways they go. When you look at the Braves lineup or the Giants lineup or even the Morley lineup, top to bottom, there's not a lot of places to hide or where you're going to get outs from a pitching perspective. Some of these younger teams, you look at it, and this is the opportunity where don't waste your pitches, don't throw that pitch count up. You've got to really, if you're Jake, work to get these guys out. That ball's going to be hit hard into right field, but right at right field tonight is Atkinson. So Daniel Atkinson able to take 2 steps and range over to that one to make the play. So that'll retire the Rams in the bottom half of the 4, 3 up, 3 down. After 4 complete, South Perth 4, Rockingham Rams 1.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Fielder's Choice, the home for all of your baseball, softball, or t-ball needs. Make sure and visit the crew out at Fielder's Choice for any equipment and purposes that you need. Call 08-936-16117. Visit them online at fielders.net or stop by at 341 Orong Road in Kewdale. Again, get your hands in a glove, get a new helmet, new bag, new pants. Anything that you need, visit the guys at Fielder's Choice. Western Australia's home for everything baseball, softball, and t-ball.
Now, superb over there in Kewdale. Fielder's Choice. Went there for a brief browse on Monday. They've got some tremendous equipment, like I said, from gloves, bats, and everything for your baseball needs. So a shout out to those folks at Fielder's Choice in Kewdale. Sensational place for all baseball.
Absolutely. Hookers have owned that business for quite some time. Been a big proponent of baseball, not only in WA but in Australia, supporting all the youth tournaments and everything around the nation. We're ready for the top of the 5th as Cameron Landy steps into the batter's box. Cahill still into his 2nd inning of work now for the Rams.
Due in is Landy, Hewitt, and McMahon. That would be the next 3 that are due up for the Souths. Again, a couple of them going low from Cahill. 1-1 the count. Looking ahead as well. Well, Cahill is on the mound, throwing to Landy. Landy goes for a big swing, comes up empty. Strike 2. Looking ahead to next week's game, 1st of November. The first one in November, Friday, November 3. Put this one in your diary. Swan Districts take on Morley. And at the present time, both teams are in the 5. So 4th and 5th Morley and Swan Districts respectively coming into this round. And if they stay in the 5 after Sunday's matches, I tell you what, next Friday is going to be a ripper.
Yeah, Swan Districts improving quite a bit in the 2nd year under manager. Of course, improving their record-wise, they do have a young, talented group that has kind of come up age group together and been a part of the Cal Ripken World Series, and I believe they got over in the Senior League Series and some different things. And we've seen WA be a big part of that one, but we're missing about 6 guys that are currently playing college ball and one that's signed with the Oakland Athletics. So I think BJ Cook, Tyson Knoll, Dylan Bojarski, so Ulrich's brother, all a part of that Swan Districts group. Cam Landy's going to draw a base on balls. That, you know, if they can figure things out and kind of sit this middle of the order, when they get some of those guys back, they could be a real team to contend with in future seasons, depending on how things play out for some of those guys. And then, of course, they might be one of those teams in the future with 3 or 4 Heat players, much the same as the Braves, Morley, and Honolulu are now. But Landy will advance to 2nd on the wild pitch there from Cahill. So South Perth once again with runner in scoring position. Jai Hewitt at the plate. Pitch from Cahill. down and away for a ball.
And as the count goes to 2-0, Swan Districts, they have got Perth on the Sunday, and that one will too be a critical game. Swan Districts looking for 3 wins in a row. And Morley, well, they've got also a game on Sunday. That one's going to be a very important one as well as they take on Gosnells. That ball is popped high towards right field.
Kira will camp under that one, and Landy will retreat back to second base. So Hewitt not able to advance the runner in this situation. Turn things over to his teammate, catcher tonight, 35, Ollie McMahon. Ollie going up through the South Perth system, part of Central Firebirds team that went to Little League Nationals years ago. Getting the opportunity to be a full-time state league player, he'll bounce that one two-hopper over to Josh Diggins, who quickly throws to first for the out. You'll try to get Landy going back into second, but the throw will be wide of the bag, so Landy able to slide back in. I should say dive back in safely. No threat, but nice play there by Diggins to kind of hold Landy in his spot, and then sneaky play there by Dave Nichols to go ahead and fire down to second, trying to get Landy as he was ranging off, trying to potentially induce a throw to third, different things. In the meantime, we'll step up, and that ball's going to be hit into left field. Landy rounding third. We're going to not have a play at the plate. It was cut off, and the fake throw bounced out of the hands there of the third baseman, Wilson. So not able to make a play was Corbin. Great play there by Crouch. Thought we would have a play at the plate to try to get Landy, but South Perth able to add a run.
Landy's just got great speed there as Landy going from second to home plate. He really turned it on from third to home as well. And Rockingham, as you said, they just haven't been able to make those plays when you've got guys like Landy, Goodwin and Bowery advancing towards bases. And we got another one.
Cahill, once again with a wild pitch. That will move Goodwin over to third. Goodwin able to get that hit there, swinging. It's been an aggressive hitter, so that one will raise his average a little bit. He certainly would like to get north of that Mendoza line. Struggling at the plate, but found one there and has found himself 90 feet away from tacking on another one for South Perth. The swing there put into play. Josh Diggins will range to his left. Fire over to Nichols. That'll be the third and final out for the South Perth club, but they do scratch one more run. Strand 1 after 4.5. South Perth 5, Rockingham 1. We'll be back after this quick break.
With a history of going the extra mile, Harcher has been a trusted wholesale distributor since 1986. Regional service and supply is what we do best, and you'll find everyone's favourite drinks, snacks, confectionery, and so much more, all here ready to deliver. Just tell us how we can help today.
Delivered together is our motto here at Harcher, because from our friendly customer service reps to our super reliable delivery drivers, we believe teamwork really does make the dream work. So if your dream is a wholesale supplier who'll always put you first, you've made the right call. See what we're all about at harcher.com.au.
Without having to do it, training, you actually go.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. We're moving along quickly here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Rams trail by 4 now as South Perth continuing to increase their lead. At the plate, number 34, fielder Ashton Crouch. Crouch had an opportunity to try to gun down Landy. Throw was cut off, so no play was ultimately made. Thus, South Perth able to tack on that one more run and push the lead out to 4. Through 4.5. Just joining us. Score 5-1. Ouch. Fouling that one off. 1 and 2 the count now. Rockingham has had a few chances. We're able to capitalize in the first, but Bowie has started to find a rhythm, and that'll be his 8th strikeout of the game.
Now this has been his game. It has been Bowie's game, it has to be said. And he's getting those strikeouts. He's shutting out that productivity of the Rockingham Rams side tonight. 8 strikeouts, impressive.
8 strikeouts, making short work of the back half of the order for the Rams. And this is the big thing. Again, don't waste the pitches on these guys. Get them up, get them down, put it away, and trying to get South Perth back into playoff baseball here in 2023-24 Harcher State League season. Big thing will be South Perth needs to take advantage of some of these games and really make the most of their opportunities while they have the Heat players in the lineup. Of course, missing one in Neil Sheriff right now. Of course, maybe the biggest name that the South Perth doesn't have in the lineup is Warwick Soppold. Obviously, congratulations to Warwick on becoming a father recently. So, big shout out to him. Of course, the Soppolds a big South Perth family.
2-2 the count again. It has to be said, Bowie is getting those fast balls working. Saw there the number 14 Wilson just stepping away from the plate, just trying to regain his focus. He's now facing that 2-2 pitch from Bowie.
Kicks, delivers. Big swing and a miss. 9th strikeout of the game.
Could we see 10?
Bowie will definitely get to double digits as he's not quite, he'll certainly go through the order one more time. Obviously, most strikeouts in a game should still be, I believe is still a tie amongst Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, and Kerry Wood with 20 apiece in a game. Don't think he'll get there, but if he continues to mow down the back half of the Rockingham Rams lineup, may not be far off. Josh Diggins at the plate now. He'll watch the first one down into the dirt. Bowie's pitch count starting to creep up a little bit. He was moving along quickly first couple of minutes. Last 2 innings, a little bit errant. Fastball foul. Sky. All the production so far from the Rams is coming from these 4 hitters. Diggins, Artis, Carantola, Sierra.
The question is, from Bowie's point of view, can he repeat this? Because like the Rams, South Perth have got a Sunday game as well. South Perth have got the UWA Magpies over there.
I think that will be South looking for a win tonight. Up 4 here, way through. Bowie's pitch, short strikes out there. So you see his face becoming frustrated because he lost the ability to locate his fastball at times. Very errant since the bottom of the 3rd inning, missing both high and well short of the plate. That one was thrown at about 58 feet instead of the 60 feet 6 inches. Pitch. Watch that one. Able to hold his swing.
It's close.
Probably went to just about the limit as far as he could go. Was able to pull it back. So we'll get the 3-2 pitch from Jake. See all you can give the signs.
pitch count's gone up to 80 as Bowie now. To 80, and just looking at his ratio of pitches and strikes in comparison, 80 to 49 in this game tonight. This is now the 18th that it's faced in this game.
So really doubled his pitch count in the last 2+ innings of work here. That one will miss the strike zone, so Josh Diggins will trot down to first. He'll have his second walk of the evening, at least the second walk of the evening against Bowie. Now Jason Hewitt's going to take the time to come out, talk to Bowie, along with all the South Perth infielders. Daryl Artis really step into the plate. As I said, the production for Rockingham has come from these 1 through 4 spot of the lineup.
Bowie's going to the dugout. It looks like he's finishing up for the match.
No point in overworking him. So, you know, I'm going to be proven incorrect in saying he'd have no problem getting to double-digit strikeouts as Jason pulls him, but a fine game nonetheless. I know Bowie's probably frustrated and shaking his head a little bit. Ultimate competitor that he is, doesn't like missing the zone, but Jason not wanting to give the Rams any chance to get back into the ball game, wants to keep things where he's at. He's going to turn things over to the bullpen. And in fact, we will see number 21, and 21 is
Sheriff.
Will Sheriff. So Sheriff might be getting an inning work in here. Not sure when these guys take off to Japan, I believe, for this Australian team series. Of course, a couple of WA guys that were made in that team. I believe it was criteria, I think it'd be under 23, so there are a few guys that were on the team. Australia, obviously, I think you could only have two players over the age of 25 on it, so quite a lot of the actual Team Australia members left off, but David Nilsson trying to form a team that he believes will compete well against international competition in a tournament setting. So Will Sheriff was named to the team, Alex Hall was named to the team. I think there were 2 other West Australians that are just eluding me at the moment.
What I like about this as well, this change, Sheriff being a left-hander as well, so they've got some variety in that pitching line up there for the South Perth side.
Sheriff also a homegrown talent from South Perth, been with the club since he was young. Tried to entice him into different colors, but best I could do was get him to play for the Firebirds for a long time. Done well in his young career, both through the junior rankings and then into WA state teams, both under 16s, under 18s, and then started off his ABL career with 10 strikeouts. Didn't give up a run for a long time. Crafty left-hander with a very good off-speed breaking ball. Does things well to mix things up with his fastball, changeup. He's throw both a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. Keeps hitters off balance. Of course, the last time I saw Will Sheriff on the mound wasn't in person. I was watching on TV and gave up a big hit to a superstar of the game. I think all the Japanese fans were very appreciative of that one. So, you know, we say as much as Luke Hughes got to hit that home run off of Max Scherzer, who we'll see in the World Series. Well, Sheriff got that opportunity and gave up a long ball to Shohei. So, different things, different situations, but when you're able to compete on the biggest of stages such as that one, even for artists right now to sit there, he was hitting off a guy that was throwing to Shohei. So, again, creating those how small the world it is moment sometimes. Sheriff now working a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 artists. Diggins leading off from first, not being held on right now. So that lead increasing out a lot.
It's
But
gone.
we'll get the strikeout, and that will be the third out. Artist will take a seat. Sheriff comes out, does his job. Keeps the Rams stranded at 1 run through 4.5. South Perth 5, Rockingham 1. Diamond Fitness, the strength to succeed. Make sure and visit Johnny Ogilvy, Lee Godfrey, and Dean White. They have a location near you, both at Christchurch Grammar School, Osborne Park, and of course out here at Baseball Park in Thornley. The strength to succeed. Make sure and get the fitness tailored to your liking. Be a member of Diamond Fitness.
Great supporters, Diamond Fitness, of this competition and the broadcasts on Friday nights. And we do thank all our partners that are on board for this 2023-24 season.
Absolutely. Big shout out, obviously, to Harcher State League, the primary partner for Friday night baseball, as well as Fielder's Choice, Diamond Fitness.
And don't forget Alcohol Think Again as well. Very important part of WA baseball, for that matter, WA sport as well.
And more importantly, FRS.
Front Row Screen Sport.
Row Screens.
What a year they've had as well. And what a big year they've had, not just with the stuff that we're doing over summer, baseball, tennis state league, their coverage beginning tonight as well. And what a winter season they've had as well. A lot of Aussie rules football in all three grades across the WAFL, and also a little bit of ice hockey as well, and so much more. They've done a wonderful job this year.
In the meantime, Cameron Landy will lead off the top of the sixth inning for South Perth. This part of the lineup has come through big tonight in the first, third, and fifth innings. Start to go through once again here in the sixth. Jackson, actually I said Cameron Landy, it's actually Jackson Limpus, apologies. Both right-handed hitters, both prodigious talents in their own rights. Jackson now patrolling the outfield for South Perth, moving over from right field now in center field, but he's going to be rung up on strikes on that pitch. Had a little bit to question, didn't really like the call, but nonetheless, he'll walk back to the dugout to take a seat.
I'd have to say Limpus would be a bit stiff on that one, but he did get caught looking on a couple of those, and the umpire there behind the plate in perfect position.
Meantime, that'll bring up Jake Bowie. Jake has had two big swings this evening, but just managed to get under the baseball on both of those, pop out. So we'll see if he's able to break through with a big hit shortly.
We did talk about Bowery in that previous innings. He got to see by a late pitch wide of the plate. He had a swing at it, but some would say it was the wrong swing to take, and he gets a high one there just outside the right corner of the plate there. So we in the count for Bowie on the plate with his side leading 5-1 at the top of the sixth. Well, that's another big hit, Bowery. That one is flying to centre field, standing underneath it. And it looks like it's Diggins there that took the catch.
Bowie once again skied that one, just getting under the baseball with that big swing of his. And Diggins, Bowie almost put that one into the Bermuda Triangle there in left center field, but Diggins able to stay with it, fight it as it went above the light tower and then came back into it, makes the catch. That'll be the second out for South Perth this inning. Rockingham has done well to try and keep the lead, not letting the game get away from them, so to speak, keeping it at that 3-4 margin here. Obviously, they gave up the 1 run, but South Perth has had opportunities to absolutely blow the game open, has not taken full advantage of that one. And Barbarich batting now with 2 outs. Of course, we do see a few more international viewers joining us. Former WA under 14s, 16s coach Ryan Sherbin watching from Germany.
Oh, good on you, Ryan. Viewers from the Netherlands and now Germany. Fantastic stuff. Our coverage being seen by many countries all over the world. And you made a very good point in the context of this game. Rockingham, they've done well. Their pitching and their play in the field has been very, very good. Their only downside has been in the batting, not getting a lot of production out of their lineup. South Perth, they got the runs on the board, but they haven't been able to blow this lead further than what it currently is at 5-1 as Barbarich draws a base on balls. Barbarich now on first, and that'll bring back Simon Baumer, number 39, and one of the left-handers in the South Perth side. Player on first, that being Barbarich. Baumer on the plate now. He's going to be facing Kale.
Barbarich fakes the break.
I think that break was as effective as he would have wanted it. So it's going to be still... Now the count. As Baumer faces Kale, he is content to let that one go, and that'll be another ball. South Perth still on 2 outs, down to their last out. Another one has been taken. 3-0 the count. We see another base on balls drawn for South Perth, this time Baumer.
Barbarich off to the races, but that will be ball 4, so no stolen base for him. That just advances the runner. South Perth looking to strike again with runner in scoring position. Runners now first and second. Now stepping to the plate. It's number 15, shortstop Cameron Landy. Landy hit the ball hard twice. Awarded with hits. Helped plate. Some of the runs in that 3-run third inning for South Perth. Once again, batting with 2 men on here with 2 out in the 6th inning.
It has to be said, it's a tight one between Bowie and Landy for the player of the match, it has to be said. Landy getting those 2 runs, he's been effective, got those ground balls in and drew some production from the rest of his lineup. Bowie as well, getting those strikeouts and shutting out the productivity from Rockingham's lineup throughout this game. So out of those 2, it's pretty tight.
Landy watches that offering over for a strike. Not really happy with the call, so both teams not agreeing with some of the calls made this evening. West trying to make those adjustments. Maybe we'll step out and ask for time. Cahill into his 3rd inning of work. That ball's going to be hit hard up the middle. That one through into center field. Barbarich rounding 3rd. The play at the plate, not in time. He should have slid underneath. Throw almost had an opportunity to get Barbarich, but the throw took Neretless high. Barbarich able to slide in under the tag. So Landy with an RBI single. Runners first and second. We'll get ready to do the same thing as Jai Hewitt comes to the plate.
Another brilliant piece of play there from South Perth. That was a good ground out towards centre field. Landy with the RBI single as Barbarich advances home, and the lead is extended even further. 6-1 now, South Perth in total control. They've been in total control from the midway point of this game as Hewitt takes a strike. They're still on 2 outs, mind you. Rockingham just haven't been able to nail down that 3rd out. Again, they've struggled to get some run out of their batting lineup, but up until now they haven't let this lead blow, and that's a fly out towards left field. Standing underneath it there is Crouch. He nets it, easy catch, and they finally get that 3rd out. And now we go through 5.5. South Perth, they've extended the lead, Geese, 6-1. They are in control of this game, back at the bottom of the 6th right after this.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Bottom of the 6th now here at Empire Ballpark. South Perth, they extended their lead by 1 through an RBI single by Landy that allowed Barbarich to advance to home, and they lead at 6-1. They're on the fringe of the 5, and they'll go up to 4-3 from 7 matches as it continues with Will Sheriff, the left-hander, number 21 for South Perth on the mound. Rockingham, safe to say the game from them has slipped away, and South Perth will likely take 6th place from Rockingham and get a very important win, rebounding from that 7-10 loss to Perth this past Sunday. A much improved performance from South Perth, who Guy mentioned several times during the broadcast, before their turnover of players to the Perth Heat, who begin their season in 1.5 months' time in the ABL. It's all important that they get some early wins on the board and find a good flow, because if they lose, when they lose those 3 or 4 players to the Perth Heat, who's really going to step up to the plate later down the track as they pursue a spot in the final 5? 1-2 there, 2-0 the count. Tarantola at the plate. Gee, South Perth edging ever closer to their 4th win of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, they've started to increase that lead, and even though they haven't gotten the second big inning of the evening just to break it open, attacking those runs on makes it a lot tougher, and I think the game is probably out of hand. If Will Sheriff is able to shut things down, I don't see the Rams able to break things open against Will Sheriff when most of the ABL teams haven't been able to break things open against him either.
No, you're absolutely right, but what is obviously going to be for the future for South Perth as well, not only the turnover of players to the Perth Heat, but also their ability to string together good results against further teams that are above them on the ladder. I mean, when you look at the likes of Morley and Swan Districts, we're going to be seeing them next Friday night. That's going to be a ripper game here at Empire Ballpark, but also that top 3, Braves, Vic Park, Belmont, and Wanneroo, the capabilities that this South Perth side has got against those top 5 sides in the competition.
Oh, one of the big questions there too, the Morley team struggling a little bit, even with their Heat hitters in the lineup. We'll see how they fare when they don't have some of those big at bats, so to speak. Like I said, Sheriff and Alex Hall and a couple of other guys, along with players from around the team, will join that team Australia, head north to Japan for that tournament.
Be a big tournament over there in Japan. And we do wish the Aussies all the best as Tarantola draws a base on balls. He walks to first.
Tarantola on for his on base for the third time this evening. He hasn't gone past second base as I recollect.
Are you correct? He has not gone past second.
But the player at the plate has the lone RBI for the Rams this evening on that RBI single back in the first inning. Watch the Sheriff offering bounce away from Ollie McMahon, but called a strike. They're not able to advance. Kara will pop that one foul over the toilet block there above the Rams dugout.
Sheriff 15-7 in the pitches to strikes ratio, so he started well.
That fastball going to be behind, lined down the right field line. I think the second game tonight features, looks like the Braves and
UWA.
UWA. Couldn't quite see the green jerseys yet, so.
Braves, if they can get it done tonight, then they'd stake their claim maybe for hunting down the top two. Vic Park, Belmont holding down second place. And Braves looking for their third win in a row.
Of course, some teams behind others due to other teams having the double headers and some different things. So I think Morley's played the most. Nope, Swan Districts has actually played the most games with 8. Morley with 7. But of course, if you look at the Braves, they've only played 4 games so far. Sakara will pop out to Goodwin on the infield. Be another out. And Sheriff might be on restricted pitches, just both from coming back off of an arm injury, I think, and just trying to get some work in before that tournament.
No, you're absolutely right. Sheriff obviously just managing himself, making sure that he's in perfect health for that tournament.
So he's going to be pulled. That'll be his evening done.
Question is, who's going to be next? It looks like
looks like Simon Baumer is going to come into the game. So I think I saw Bowie, who stayed in. Bowie was the pitcher, was replaced on the mound by Sheriff, but he will now enter the game and become the first baseman, thus killing the DH. So Bowie will play the field the rest of the way. He'll be at first base as Baumer comes on. So it'll be the second lefty of the evening. And this will be our first look at Simon Baumer for the season.
Absolutely right. Well, Baumer, he didn't pitch at all last week. He's only played the 2 games this season, and he's only pitched 5 innings. He's been able to pitch 7 strikeouts as well. As you said, he didn't pitch at all, but Sheriff did, only for just that 1 inning. As you said, he's being on managed pitches. Of course, Sawpole, Ranford and Hewitt being the other 3 for South Perth last Sunday. But Baumer, this will be his 3rd game on the mound. And he's total 86 pitches at this point in time for the season. As you said, Gee, another left-hander, so to be the second left-hander of this game, with Sheriff being the other. Bowie being a right-hand pitcher. But, Sheriff being managed so he can get himself fit and firing to go for that big tournament in Japan. And looking ahead, while the warm-up pitches are going on, of course, a couple of big games on the Sunday as part of round 5 of the 2023-24 Harcher State League. I tell you what, Sunday, 12:30, it's a battle of the top two. Vic Park, Belmont up against the Giants. That is certainly going to be a beauty. In fact, they take on each other twice on the Sunday as well. They've got a double on that one, 12:30 and 3:15. Rockingham, they take on the Braves, a chance for them to bounce back. In South Perth, they play UWA. Perth and Swan Districts have a double. On the Sunday, they play each other twice. And then, of course, Gosnells and Morley Eagles doing battle one single game on the Sunday.
Simon Balmer is the import for the South Perth Baseball Club this season. He's a left-hander. Big boy, 6'5", 250. Actually out of Hamburg, Germany. So he's playing some college ball. So another reason that Ryan Sherman might be tuning in, because he might have had something to do with him. Helping send him out here to WA to play down under during the summer season.
Love a bit of international flavour coming into the Harcher State League competition. Swing and a miss there for Nichols.
Normally you would sit there and say he's got that country farm boy look, but of course, being from Germany, perfect month. Oktoberfest going on currently, but big reason to give Bomber a call to the bullpen here. Hard throwing left-hander working against Dave Nichols. Runner on first. Nichols will draw the base on balls, so Bomber will give up the base on balls. That'll move runners to first and second. And now this is that part of the lineup that we've talked about, needs to make things happen. It looks like we're going to have a pitch hitter entering the game. I believe that's going to be number 31, and number 31 is Hayden Brown. So Hayden Brown will be entering the game for Jesse Noretlis. So we'll see a few changes, and we'll also have a pitch runner come on in place of Dave Nichols. So Rockingham, viewing this as an opportunity to strike, has tried to put some speed on the base paths here. New hitter. Have some defensive changes in the next half inning. In the meantime, Bomber's first pitch to Brown, strike one.
Brilliant fastball there from Borma. Really got some pace on that one. Really taking that left-hander versus right-hander battle as well, because that just opens up the corner of the plate there. He can get those strikeouts with those fast balls. 0-2 the count.
Shepard will be the runner at first. I'm not sure if that's Sam or Jake.
Jake Shepard.
So Jake Shepard will enter in place of Dave Nichols.
And he's gone. Strike three.
And that's sometimes the tough part. When you've been a bench player all game, you're put in a situation to come in, you're facing the import, a hard-throwing left-hander. You haven't had much action to this point in the game, and you're asked to come through in a clutch situation. Unfortunately, not able to do it. In the meantime, Jax Williams will step to the plate, try to get things done against Steve Ballmer. He will hit the first ball he sees into right field, and that will be lifted down the line, but going to be run down. Catch made by Daniel Atkinson, and that will end the Rams' threat. They strand two.
That's it, I think.
After 6 complete, that will do it. I think we've hit time-wise on the thing, so South Perth will get the win tonight. Final score, South Perth 6, Rockingham 1. Big thanks for tuning in to Harcher Friday night action, Western Australian State League baseball season 23-24. You've now almost gotten to see all of the teams in the state league. Paul, what are your takeaways from tonight's game?
Well, I think South Perth, they had it in control from the third inning when they got those 3 runs on the board. Landy was able to get that RBI single late. That really sewed it up for the South Perth Souths. Rockingham, to their credit, they did well in the field and their pitching was decent enough to not allow the lead to blow out any further. But South Perth, when they got those two single runs in the 5th and the 6th, it was only a matter of time before South Perth sewed up this game. As for the player of the match, I'm going to give it to Bowie. Bowie, incredible run, 9 strikeouts tonight. He was solid on the mound. Those fastballs really shut down Rockingham's production line from the middle and the bottom of their lineup, which was going to be a key tonight. He was sensational. He's been in top form this season.
Absolutely. Bowie, well over 30 strikeouts on the season. As we said, 9 strikeouts tonight in Harcher State League action. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast. My name is Guy Belair along with Paul Persig. Final score, South Perth 6, Rockingham Rams 1. Tune in to Front Row Screens next week as we have Morley taking on Swan Districts. Thank you and good night.